Hello guys, welcome to another episode of the First Half Podcast, football fan channel that talks everything football. My name is Dennis, a Chelsea fan, and I'm here with
Patrick, a very strong Liverpool fan.
Jared. How are you doing today?
So I'm doing great. We're back again, man.
Yes, Jared. How's the weekend been?
Not bad. We've had very interesting games.
I hope another funeral also.
Oh no.
I hope at least this weekend you rested.
No, this weekend I rested. I didn't do much this weekend, and it was good. Normally during my weekends, especially when we're lucky enough and we don't have this international break, it's all about football.
Of course.
And of course, family sometimes. But football, takes most part of my time. Yeah, so it's been good, and even though my expectations were not met fully when it comes to football,
We'll get to that.
So it was good. How about you? How have you been?
My Saturday mornings are normally for playing football.
Hey, Jay, and this your football.
And I can't do that.
Local Van Dijk.
The least said about that. So today we're going to touch on a few issues, a few games. The Clasico happened yesterday.
Yep.
City played on Sunday. Today they played. Chelsea played Newcastle, and then Arsenal, Liverpool have also played. So we're trying to get into all these games and analyze what has happened in these games. So I guess the first thing to talk about is let's talk about City Southampton.
Okay.
Let me ask you, do you think City are struggling for goals?
Yeah, it hasn't been the City of yesterday. City will normally be scoring 3, 4, 5 goals. But of course, we should be fair to the other teams because I believe that as the season goes by, we have coaches who are monitoring the games of Pep Guardiola.
Okay.
So at every point in time, you will never have it easy.
Yeah.
So of course, your opponents are always well prepared for you. However, we've all realized that City is having challenges because we currently don't have Rodri.
Yeah.
And without him, their midfield is terrible.
It becomes a challenge, yes.
De Bruyne is not there to be giving all the magical passes. So they are not themselves now. And remember that City always has a bad start.
Okay.
Yeah. And eventually things will become better. But the Southampton game was quite tough.
Yeah, but that's why I'm asking this question, because everybody expected City to batter Southampton, but for one goal through the 90 minutes, it's a bit shocking.
And that goal, the one goal was actually a struggle. You see how Haaland scored that goal. Very scrappy.
That's what makes me think that they are struggling because, you have Gundogan, you have Bernardo Silva in there. I think Foden was in. So I was expecting more.
Yeah.
So I feel it's a bit. Southampton also got some chances that could have actually made them draw this game. Yeah. So that is why I don't know whether something is missing in their game in terms of the attack.
Yeah.
You understand? Because for you to have Haaland in there and all these players in there facing a team like Southampton who were just promoted up, I was expecting more from City.
But then if you go back to some of the City games where they've always struggled to get goals, you realize that at a very critical moment you have someone shooting from almost outside the penalty box and scoring. That's what Rodri.
Yeah.
Or maybe during a difficult time you have De Bruyne just stringing in just one magical shot and it goes in there. Those two guys are missing. And the City team is not complete without those two guys. But then, to be fair to Southampton, I think they played a very good game. Tactically they were very disciplined. And they knew the harm Haaland could cause them. So Haaland had about 4 or 5 guys around him all the time. Even when he was scoring, at that point, he was being held back with about 2 guys before he kicked the ball. So, kudos to Southampton, but City is not having a good time now, but I know they'll get better. I know they'll get better. They
always start slow. What's your opinion on their wingers, Doku and the new guy, this was?
The Brazilian.
Yes.
I have a problem with Doku with consistency. He has the speed. His final decision is always a challenge. And I always believe that. So you realize that at every point in time, any football lover will want to see Doku because he has the speed, he has the flair. But just observe something. When Guardiola really wants a goal, he'll take him out and bring Grealish. Because Grealish is more quick with his decisions, very decisive.
Okay.
and he would always go into the side and try to cut in the ball for someone to get the ball. Yeah. So I have a problem with Doku. He's not too consistent, and I think that with time he should be able to adjust to how the City boys play. Because sometimes when you run so much to the wing, you realize that Haaland moves in there expecting a cross.
Yeah.
He will turn around and come back. Yeah, you know. So it's a problem that they need to look at. But I think so far they've not been bad.
But this is the second season, no?
Yeah, this is the second season. Yeah.
He should be conversant with how the team plays by now.
Yeah, surprisingly. But I think he's and even the way he plays, I was expecting him to be scoring goals.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, yeah. But he's not. I think this season he scored 1 goal. I think he's had a goal this season also. Yeah. I think he's had a goal. But I mean, hey, City is City.
I mean, I want to go the 3 point. You can't take that now.
Yeah.
But just that they set the bar so high that anytime they win and it's not comfortable, you ask yourself questions. There's something there that is missing. Yeah. But I think in all it was a good game. So I mean, we watched to see where they get to. But I still think they will get away with it.
And interestingly, as we speak about how whether they are struggling or not, they are top of the table.
Of course, it's all about their standards and what they said.
Yeah, they've said,
Okay, so let's come to the El Clasico.
El Clasico.
I mean, what was your general feel of the game?
I mean, I watched the midweek Champions League games.
Yeah.
And I saw what Vinicius Jr. did.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that guy's
and I saw what Barcelona also did against Bayern Munich.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, I can't wait for the El Clasico.
Yes.
But then I was taken aback. You know, I feel that personally, last season was when Jude Bellingham joined Real Madrid.
Yes.
And he had a wonderful season. Mm-hmm. And I think he had that season because he had a good season because he wasn't under too much pressure.
Okay.
No.
I think there were no expectations on him.
The expectations were not that high. Now, I think there's so much pressure on Mbappe. So, in the first half of the Clasico, Real Madrid had several chances. Mm-hmm. And interestingly, most of those chances were offside.
Yeah.
You know, so, and this was caused by Mbappe because I think there was about 11 offsides in the game, and 8 of them were in the first half, and six came from Mbappe. Yes. And it was crazy because he was so eager to score to make a mark.
Well, I think from what I've heard or what I've read, the coach Hansi Flick actually planned for that. You know, he's always played a high line.
Yeah.
And he's always said he's not going to sacrifice that. That's what he took to win the Champions League.
Exactly. Yeah,
so why stop it now?
Yeah.
So I think what they did that they really planned for the speed of. They knew that what Real Madrid can use to head them was the speed of Vinicius and Mbappe. So they really were very disciplined when it comes to setting the trap.
Yeah.
And some way, somehow, Real Madrid was always falling into it. That's to a point where Mbappe was getting very frustrated. Yeah. So I think maybe the tactics is what beat Madrid. But all in all, in the game, it was a bit disappointing for me because I feel if you look at the levels that we've come to expect from these teams, you were expecting the game to be a bit competitive. First half was all about Real Madrid and their offsides and all that. And nobody expected Barcelona to go away with the win 4-0. Was it 4-1?
4-0 actually.
Yeah, I mean that's just embarrassing. You were expecting more from this game because if anything, I was expecting a very competitive game where one will edge it. Yeah. So I didn't expect it to be that bad. I mean, we are talking about a game where the first shot on target from Real Madrid came on the 60th minute. Can you imagine? Yeah,
that's very unfortunate. But you know, there's something that normally when you and I have arguments, you talk about, and actually it played a huge role in the El Clasico. That's experience.
Exactly.
Now, when Modric came into the game the second half, there were less offsides.
I don't know why they didn't start with
and Modric changed the game.
Yes, but it was too late.
It was too late. Yeah. You know, because that time the momentum had picked up for Barcelona, and they were all over the place.
Yeah.
And speaking of experience, look at what Lewandowski did just within that short period.
Exactly. I mean, to score in I think they scored two goals in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he added the
third goal.
Exactly. So it was just crazy. Yeah.
And you know the young guy in Barcelona, I think is Yamal.
Yes.
It's amazing. And I'm expecting that at his age, he would have some sort of pressure. But he's playing in a very relaxed mode.
I always ask myself, where does Barcelona find these talents?
Yeah.
If you look at the young ones that are coming in now, Yamal, Gavi, and all these things. But
There's a guy, Pedri, wonderful guy.
See that these talents were players that nobody knew about.
Yeah.
But they were able to bring them into the team, and now they are all becoming household names in the game. And they are actually making the mark. It's not that Yamal is just 17 years old. And he's not faced by big games. And in fact, he's calling for the ball. And he's making things happen.
And his goal was crazy. I mean, those goals are not scored by just anyone.
No.
His goals.
And one player that is really impressing me is Rafinha. If you look at the fact that he's come from Leeds, which is not a top team in England, I know that Chelsea was trying to go for him badly, and
even Liverpool at the point.
Exactly.
I mean, that player is amazing.
He opted to go for Barcelona, and since he's been there, I think he proved that he deserves to be there.
I think the midweek he scored a hat trick.
And then he scored again. I mean, the goal he scored. I mean, I think the defender made all kinds of mistakes, but the way he took the ball and was confident and lobbed it over the keeper. That's confidence right there.
And I also realized that, you see, yes, I think Mbappe is a good player. I mean, he starts from PSG and whatnot. But then for me, I think he should relax. You see, there are teams that when they decide to buy you, it means that maybe they have a goal drought and they need somebody to come and rescue. Look, Mbappe, if God forbid, touch wood, if you have an injury today, Madrid will still score goals.
Of course.
I mean, Rodrigo is there, Vinicius Jr. will do all his magic. So I think he should, because he really wanted to prove a point on Saturday.
Well, I mean, I understand where the pressure comes from, because with the whole drama between him and PSG, everybody and
when he had to move,
I think now that he's come in, he wants to sort of pay back the loyalty that Real Madrid has given him, and it's getting to his head. He's trying too hard. I think he's at his best when he relaxes. And now I think someone needs to talk to him and tell him to calm down. We know your quality. You don't need to prove it.
We know. That's the point.
So I mean, it's a marathon. Not a sprint. So he needs to just calm down.
I think Ancelotti can help with that. He should just talk to the boy, put his hands around his shoulders and tell her, yo, I know what you can do.
That's what
so just be relaxed.
I think that's it. But I'm looking forward to the second El Clasico down the line in the La Liga and see, but I feel there are too much mistakes. And then also for them to come back against Dortmund, that would have taken a lot from the team. So
for the midweek,
so that would have had a toll on them for this game, because for Barcelona against Bayern, they were basically cruising through, so they didn't need to actually go to their fourth gear to be able to win. But to come 2-0 down for Dortmund's game, I think it takes a lot from these players, and I think it showed.
It showed. Because
I'm sure if Ancelotti had his way, there were players who would have wanted to rest for the El Clasico, but everybody had to play the full 90 because they needed to win.
They needed to win.
So that would have had a big impact on the El Clasico.
And El Clasico with the bragging rights, regardless of the games you've won that season, you need to win El Clasico.
Exactly.
So for bragging rights, everybody played, and it wasn't bad. Like you were saying, we were expecting that, let's say, maybe Barcelona scored and Madrid will score, then it becomes competitive, but it wasn't that. So
I'm sure the second round will be good. They'll prepare for them, and then it will be a competitive. I just want to know by that time how close on the table both teams are, so that it makes it very, very competitive.
I think currently Barcelona is on top of the table.
Exactly. But if by then there's probably a 1 point gap, 3 point gap, I think it makes it even more exciting. So that's what I'll look forward to. So let's come to the Manchester United West Ham game. This was a game of comedy. It pains me to say, but as much as Manchester United is an opponent, I suffer for the fans of what they are going through now. You watch this game and you saw in the first half, West Ham was really poor. And this was when Manchester United should have killed the game. The chances that they wasted came back to bite them. I mean, there was one instance where Garnacho wasted a lot of chances, 3 or 4 chances, and then Dallo basically beat the keeper, an empty goal, and just kicked over the bar. What is going on with Manchester United?
I'm actually struggling.
Yeah.
I was telling you I was disappointed. You're like, oh, I'm happy they've lost, but because I'm a Liverpool fan. No, in as much as I'm a Liverpool fan, I really didn't get what was happening today in the game. That's why, last time we were discussing whether Ten Hag is being bullied or whatnot.
Yeah.
It's when it comes to football, it's difficult to understand certain scenarios because right now you ask yourself, is it the coach or is the players who are not hungry enough?
You can't really blame the coach. Because you see, they are playing everything to create the opportunities.
Exactly.
And the players are not taking the chances. That cannot be the coach's fault.
And sometimes you're expecting that in the heat of the moment, in times that teams are struggling, the experienced players will come
to step up, yes.
Bruno Fernandes had a free header.
Yeah.
I mean, he headed it somewhere else.
And he's a captain.
He's a captain.
Yeah.
And look at what happened to Dalot. After you dribbled everybody, you had the ball and an empty pole.
Yeah.
What was the reason about? I mean, even me, Patrick, sitting here, I would have tapped that ball in.
I'm not sure about that.
No, you have no idea my football skills. So we get there. So I was a bit surprised, but then again, when it comes to football, when a team is in crisis, Liverpool, I have been there. When a team is in crisis, it seems as though that nothing is working.
Yeah.
And to top it all up, was that penalty.
The point is that West Ham themselves have not had a good season.
Yeah.
And that is what makes it this bad for. I don't know if Manchester United will be their first win of the season. That becomes, no disrespect to West Ham. that becomes
West Ham fans will come for you.
Exactly, that becomes a big issue for Manchester United.
Yeah.
A team that everybody is almost taking points away from them, take points away from you.
Yeah.
So that is where the loss becomes a bit more daunting on the team. Than usual. Yeah. And the penalty call you were talking about, I think I see where to be given, but I think it was soft. I don't think that because the referee didn't give it a first on play. Then VAR called him back to come and review. So usually when VAR calls you, the possibility that he's going to give it becomes higher. But I think it was.
Yeah, but Dennis, let's talk about this. You see, the inconsistencies we're having now when it comes to the officiating in football, especially in the EPL, is becoming problematic. A clear and obvious penalty. It's what we should discuss.
Okay.
It was very messy in there.
Yeah.
And when it becomes so messy, most of the time is the
striker.
No, the referee and the game will be able to decipher what actually happened and make a call. Then
he was close to the
very close.
Yeah.
Then VAR can decide on that. Now, I don't see why VAR was so interested in that particular scuffle because there was a handball. I mean, two players handled the ball. One player kicked the other, and both of them were about to kick the ball, and they kicked each other. So I'm just wondering, why is that a penalty? And why won't VAR decide on whether the call the referee made on the pitch was right or wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, it was so unnecessary.
I think that penalty was questionable.
Extremely.
I think it's wrong. And the Manchester United team and the fans will be held down by the feel that, I mean, this is really unfair.
I've seen Ten Hag speak, and now when you're a coach and they have such issues, you have to be careful of your utterances.
Because you'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. But he's not happy, because he cited example that if this is what VAR is supposed to do, then there was an incident they played against Tottenham. I think Bruno had a red card.
Yes.
He says he's expecting VAR to also look at that again. But then the inconsistencies are also, and it's sad because when
the position he is in now, the pressure that he's under, these things don't come into help.
No,
I mean, allow the people to at least play their games and then officiate fairly. But right now, if he speaks too much, it's almost as if he's giving excuses because of the position he finds himself. Maybe if they have won and he said this, it's looked at from a different perspective. Now he lost. It's almost looking as if, well, if you are taking your chances, this wouldn't have been an issue.
Which is true.
That's true. But do you think upon this defeat, he needs to decide?
Never.
Why?
I mean, there's nothing. You see, if Ten Hag was not sacked last week, if he was not sacked 2 weeks ago, I don't see what about this game that should get him sacked.
I think they've been last week he won against Brentford. There have been a couple of draws.
And this is also a draw. Sorry.
It was
Okay.
a loss.
I mean, it was a
It
loss.
was a
Yeah,
loss,
it was a loss. Yeah.
So,
But with this, the Man U issue needs to be looked at holistically. You see, instead of trying to, there's also this school of thought that sometimes when players don't like a coach, they try to sabotage him by not playing too well.
Yeah.
But then my question is, why wouldn't the players like Ten Hag? What about him?
no, but if you really pay attention, you realize that the players were fighting. Even when the penalty call came in, they were all quite
They were disturbed,
disappointed. So I don't think it's about them not fighting for the coach. They are doing their best, but at this point, things are just not going well.
Things are just not. And I'm saying that when your team is struggling, it happens. I mean, the weirdest things goes against
exactly.
you.
But there's talks that the reason why Van Nistelrooy was brought in to assist him was to take over in such situations. So if they are supposed to sack him, probably he will be the interim.
Oh, really?
So there are talks like that. I mean, I've heard that on the media. I've read it on social media. I don't know whether that's true.
Yeah.
Because it was not his call to bring him in.
It was a board. I heard
exactly. So if he's in there, you then beg to ask the question, why is he in there? If not to sort of gradually get to know the team and then prepare him for basically steadying the ship in the event when they have to let him go. Because I still insist that if you look on the market now, I don't see any coaches available with a caliber to take over the Manchester United job.
Yeah, but you'll be surprised. I mean, once the board and management decides to look for a coach, I'm sure definitely they'll pull out someone.
No, but every coach that is good enough is in the contract now. And in the mid-season, I don't know how many teams will be prepared to let the coach leave. And even you, the coach, will be prepared to come in
at this point
where basically in the middle of the season and you don't have time to really introduce your philosophy and all that. So I think they should still give him time.
Yeah, they should.
And then see where this goes.
Yeah. I think sacking him is the last thing they should be doing at this point, because no coach can come in and do any magic with Manchester United's team now.
That's the point.
So you might as well finish the season with him and make a decision.
His players.
Yeah.
So it becomes a big of a mess.
Yeah.
If you bring someone in to come and start the project all over again.
Yeah.
So they have to give him time.
They should give him time.
United fans, just come in on the comments with your thoughts on the game. And whether you think it's time for Ten Hag to go, let us know. We also implore you to subscribe and like our page so that we can bring you more content. Yeah. Now, Patrick, let's come to the Chelsea-Newcastle game.
Yeah, your team, eh?
Today is a good day.
Yeah, your team was flying high.
A good day. I mean,
Chelsea.
I've been smiling all afternoon, so I'm in a good mood.
Yeah.
What was your opinion of the game?
I mean, Chelsea is a very interesting team this season. We have very young, vibrant players who are ready to take all kinds of risk. And it was an interesting game. In fact, Cole Palmer was cold today.
That boy is
he was cold today. I mean, and you see, is it Neto?
Yes.
Yeah. You see, the beautiful thing about football is when you have teammates who understand each other. It makes the flow very beautiful. You know, when Cole Palmer got that ball and turned, Neto was already on the run.
To see the pass and
execute it.
Perfect weight on the pass.
Perfect.
I mean, the run of Pedro Neto was just right.
And you know, our last discussion, we said this. You see, when you play against Chelsea and Cole Palmer is in a team, don't only think that he's just there to score.
No. What he can create is more dangerous.
It's more dangerous.
Because he had a goal that was ruled out for offside.
Yeah.
And then he came in to create this pre-assist.
Yeah.
And the way he went about this ball is just magic.
Yeah.
He's creating a name for himself, and the numbers show. I think currently when it comes to goal contributions, he's actually top of the league.
Okay.
He's actually at 45 and Haaland is 43.
Wow.
So I mean, it's just crazy. Imagine this ball was still in the City team. Where would they be now? Yeah,
but you see, that's the beautiful thing about football. Maybe in City, he wouldn't have gotten an opportunity or the flair to play the kind of football. Because you know Guardiola.
Exactly.
Stay here, don't move.
Yeah.
You know, but I think now the coach in Chelsea has has identified his talent.
Yeah,
so you realize,
him.
yes. So he plays a lot of free role.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think it was amazing, and I mean, I personally thought that the man of the match was going to be given to Reece James.
You see, Reece James' situation is even much more poetic because within the week, the coach actually called him out for leadership, that he's expecting more from him.
Yeah.
And I don't think, I mean, most immature players will come on social media to try and, save face and all that. But he decided to show it on the pitch.
Yeah.
And man, what a way to show it.
Wow. Look,
he was fantastic.
Fantastic.
He showed leadership on that pitch.
Yeah.
He actually he answered the coach's call.
And at the point on the park, I saw him calling one or two players. He speak to you. Yes. I mean, he has shown wonderful leadership.
Yeah.
And
there was a last minute defending.
Yeah.
There was a cross.
Yeah.
That he had to basically head over the bar.
Yeah.
Most players would have actually played their own goal.
Yeah.
But the way he went about it actually won us this game.
Yeah.
It was just...
He was always rightly positioned.
Yeah.
And he did that twice.
Yeah, he did, yes.
And your keeper should be careful. I realize that most of the time he's always in the wrong position.
This keeper doesn't give us any confidence.
He's always in the wrong position.
That's why I said to you in the last episode that we are not part or in contention for the league this season.
Oh no, you are.
The keeper
will get better, don't worry.
Just in this game, he gave away more than 5 passes to the opposition.
Yeah.
You understand? And if you're a defender, no matter how good you are, if you don't have confidence in your keeper, you are shaking.
Yeah.
You get it? And that is why we are not ready yet. He may need to really step up, or they need to get a better keeper for us to actually get out there.
You'll be fine.
Well, I mean, I don't expect you to.
You'll be fine. Chelsea will be fine.
I don't expect you to sympathize. Then the other two in the midfield that I think the two pivots in there, Caicedo and Lavia, were just delicious.
I mean,
it works. Yeah. I feel sorry for Enzo Fernandez because I think there are attributes he brings to the game.
Yeah.
But on certain opponents whereby there's a lot of physicality, because that's what Newcastle is about. Physicality. Mm-hmm. When you take your Joe Lintons and all these
will give you that space.
Exactly. You need people who are physical. Enzo doesn't have the legs to recover and all that. So I see why the coach will go with these two for this game. And I think they played really well.
No, Caicedo this season, last season when unfortunately he denied us Liverpool and he came to you, which was very painful. It wasn't the best season for him. Yes. This season, he's amazing.
I mean, he's really,
no.
He's really paying back the price. That
the 50-50 balls, he goes in for it.
Yes.
I mean, he's always
how he comes out of tight situations.
You come out of it.
Yes.
Lavia is a very tactically disciplined player. I've monitored that guy, and he knows when to move and when not to.
He's very keen on attack.
Yes.
He links the play between the defense and attack very well.
Yeah, very well.
No matter what pressure the press is, he somewhere is able to beat it. I've never seen him lose the ball in the first phase of play.
He's amazing.
He's always able to beat the press and release the ball to the attack.
And I always thought that after his injury, he would have had challenges coming back and all that. But I think he's been amazing.
I think talent is there.
Yeah.
He's just been amazing. Now, today, I asked you to look at Madrid. Because you actually seem to think that we Chelsea fans were just being not appreciative of the guy.
Yeah.
So I told you, no, we have watched him for a while now, and his inconsistency is something. I mean, he can be brilliant in some games where he's so direct and it pays off. Because you know that once he gets the ball, he's going to drive, take a defender on, and try and score. So that one really works. But the inconsistencies and his decision making is good. And today I asked you to pay attention to his play.
Yeah.
You tell me what you saw.
So I think he's a bit indecisive.
Yeah.
And I mean, when he has to cross, he'll shoot. Mm-hmm. When he has to shoot, he'll end up crossing the ball.
Yeah.
And it has been a problem. Mm-hmm. And I also feel as though that he always feels he needs to score.
Yeah.
He always feels he needs to score. So I think that he should be able to be calm and play along with his team, because today I realized that he had a chance that Jackson was a bit free, and he decided not to. So if we decide to rate the players today, when we get to our rating time to rate the players, I believe that when they come to the rating, Madueke will be found wanting.
Well, we'll look into that. One thing I found very peculiar was the positions I was finding Gusto in. Gusto is a player who has not scored.
He was the shortest man on the field. The smallest, actually.
Yes, he's not scored a goal for Chelsea yet. But I don't know what the tactical reason why he's always the player who is finding himself in the 10th position when they're attacking. And he got chances, but you could see he was just not able to take them because he's not a player who's used to scoring. So I don't know why, because if Reece James was getting those balls, Reece James has a good shot on him. But Gusto is finding himself in those places and it's not really working. So I don't know why the coach is using him in those areas.
So if you monitor the game, Gusto is your left back?
He's the right back.
The right back.
Yes.
So you monitor the game today, Reece James always sat back when I was on attack.
Yes.
So it made it difficult for them to even counter.